Okay, I think we are good to go. Hope I'm running. Okay, so welcome in everyone. Tier 2 Blue this season. It's going to be the first round of Season 18, Evening Deco. I have been promoted, as have many people in here. So let's have a quick run through. Scotty in the Lamborghini on pole was Tier 2 last season. Los Blanco in the Peugeot RCZ was Tier 1 last season. Didn't really race much because of internet problems, but he's back in now. But he's in Tier 2 this season. Javi, which is also Elian. Evening Ellie? Ellie? Yeah, Ellie. Yeah. I'll remember again once we get going. So, we've got Javi Elian. He was in Tier 2 last season as well. In the AMG. It's going to be rapid off the line. Probably my pick to lead into Turn 1. But he does have a couple of Jags behind him. With Mortal in the Jag, who's Tier 2 last season. Oh, it's going to be. Yeah, I hope so. Penalties and probably incidents, I think, over them curbs. Going to be lethal. Got Ross in 5th. Our T3 champion got promoted. Got Senefak actually got demoted from Tier 1, but he's in the Porsche this season. And even with the bad starts, I reckon he's my pick for the championship. So I'm hoping for good things from Senefak. And we've got Prime Call, who's kind of been solid in Tier 2 for a long time. Again, in the AMG, could be another one rapid off the start. And he's definitely going to jump Senefak. Senefak, well, he's got his teammate a bit further down, so he's going to be on the bottom end of the top 10, I think, off the start. That's how bad the Porsche is. Got a Rotikos in the Lexus. Got promoted, had good pace last season. Had a few howlers, missed a couple of rounds. But he's in the Lexus, one of the best cars in this current BOP. So, and he's done 8th, so that's a good qualifying to start with. We've got a Deco in 9th, again in the Porsche, but he's going to surely drop out of the top 10 with the starts there. Spin in the McLaren, also promoted from Tier 3. So another one moving up. Then we've got Anton, which is also Hasseldor, who I don't think his livery is loaded, which is a shame, possibly. Another one, Corvette's going to be rapid off the line. How low is Deco going to go? We've got Ellie in the Lexus as well. Another promotion from Tier 3. So this shows how many people actually did get promoted from last season. Then we've got Julio, who is fresh back this season after, I think, 1 or 2 seasons out. Not sure. No, your livery didn't load. Oh, hopefully it'll load for the second one. We can have a proper look at it. And we've got Pyro. Someone keep track of a spin counter in the chat. He has been promoted from Tier 3 as well. And he's liable to get roasted at some point during this season. For something stupid, I imagine. And we've got Peachy, who's a Tier 3 champion from a few seasons back. Coming back after 1, maybe 2 seasons out. He's not doing the best qualifying down in 15th. He's in the Corvette, could jump a couple of positions. Going to be fighting for a top 10, I think. Marty, who I believe had a qualifying ban carryover from last season, so we don't actually know how strong Marty's going to be in the Lamborghini. But again, another one probably from Tier 3. So we've got plenty of drivers getting promoted. We've only actually got 1, technically 2 demoted drivers from Tier 1, and they are towards the front of the field as you'd expect. But Scotty doing really well to out-qualify the Los Blanco, who dropped down from Tier 1 and get it on pole. So let's get this underway. We'll go on board with Javi, because I'm certain he's going to jump to the lead of the field. He does get an amazing start. Peugeot RCZ not getting too bad of a launch either. Still going to be on its inside, but he looks like he's going to be clear on the inside. Covers it off. Mortal gets to the inside. And Mortal's getting up to 2nd, so that's a really good start from Mortal there as well. Not close enough to challenge Javi into there. Does take a lot of that curb. Javi actually going round that curb. Is he going to take this one? Yeah, most of them take it. Look like the Lambo and the Peugeot jumping over it quite a lot there. Can cost you a bit of time. But if you can keep your foot flat to the floor, you can still make it work. Scotty covering off the inside. Can Los Blanco get the switch back? Still looks like he's got a little bit of lag, so he's got to be a bit careful when he goes for some of these moves. But these four have got an absolutely massive gap over the pack behind. Ross at the head of that field. So I didn't actually gain any positions off the start, which is a little surprising. But he's got some nice space now to see if he can build a gap and maybe close into the cars in front. We're just looking to space out a little bit. Have we got anyone going for any moves here? Like Pyro. Pyro's up to 10th already from 14th. And he'll be looking to hold on to this. He's reverse grid pole in this position. So definitely want to be fighting as hard as he can to hold this position. And sending fact down to 12th. That is a really bad start for the Porsche. Really bad start. Even worse than I thought it was going to be. And we've got Deco all the way down in last. So out of that Porsche, I was curious if that was just off the line. You know, let's go and have a look. Let's go back 10. Was it just off the line that the Porsche dropped that many positions? Or was there some chaos at turn 1 that we didn't get to see? So you can see it just bogs down completely. It's not awful. So I think we've missed some shenanigans in the mid-pack. Top 6 are gone. All decently starting cars up there. So Sinopac's still in 7th. So something has gone wrong here. We've got Spin sending it round the outside. Nice move there from Spin. And Rotkozwu gets a little bit of a tap from Asseldor. But he's still in 10th. So we've got another couple of positions he's going to drop down as well. I think Deco may have dropped to the back just from the start. We've got Pyro going around the outside, and we know he holds on to this to get 10th. But Sinopac's sending it down the inside. Let's get that position back. It does. We're going 3 wide up ahead. Rotko's taking a lot of grass there, but he shouldn't get a penalty for that. Holds it around the outside. And that's where Sinopac loses the position to Pyro. Oh, he's going to take it now on the inside. Yeah, and he does. Yeah, so that was not even that bad of a start from Sinopac. Just getting a bit out-muscled in the first couple of corners. Really good move from Spin to get himself up into 7th already. And ended up costing Sinopac quite a lot of positions. So like, looking really late on the brakes there, taking all of that curb on the inside. Chooses to go around the second one. You sometimes need to adjust depending on your line through there, because it is not worth spinning or getting a penalty potentially if you've got the wrong line for it. We've got the front 3 starting to build a little bit of a gap to Los Blanco. Scotty was on pole, so he's in theory the fastest driver. But the Jaguar, I know he's really fast in a straight line. The AMG, no slouch either. Should both be faster than the Lamborghini, so this might be tricky for him to get a move done. Obviously all going purple at the moment. Mortal really looks like he's able to stick close to the back of the AMG. And you can go for a move into here. The Jaguar's really good on the brakes. Is he going to try and go for a move, or does he just want to work together for now? They're building a gap mostly to the cars behind. And obviously it's a bit too early to be thinking about just taking solid results, but you don't want to throw it away. And we've all just spaced out a little bit. 32.4, fastest lap at the moment. Ross has caught right up to the back of Los Blanco. So Los Blanco qualified on 2nd, but he's starting to drop away from the top 3 now, and he's coming under threat from Ross, as well as others. Primecall is just behind these 2 as well. Looks like everyone's taking that curb quite nicely. I think it was Scotty that was going around it there. So unlikely to get a run into this corner, but is Mortal close enough to think about going for a move? Nope, decides to stay behind. Doesn't look like anyone's going for a move there. We've actually got Spin trying to defend his 7th place from Rotko's. Can Rotko's get a good run? Hard to go for a move into here. It's not the biggest braking zone, but you can if you really have to send it. Chooses not to. Spin's holding on to that position. Looks like you've just pulled out a small gap, so he's not under immediate threat anymore. But But this is the crucial corner. If Roscoe can get a really good exit, that Lexus is fast on the straights. Does dip over the edge of the track a little bit, but it doesn't look like it cost him anything really. Doesn't look like he's closing quite enough. He could send it really late. Even Alessandro. Doesn't choose to go for it, doesn't look like he can go for it. Everyone ahead is holding the position. Top three still nose to tail. Scotty taking the fastest lap, but then taken by Los Blancos, so he's settled in a little bit. Got back down to his pace, basically 1.5 seconds quicker than his second lap. So he's starting to get into a rhythm now. Doesn't look like the top six are going to be fighting particularly hard anytime soon, like we had. So Senefak up to 10th, so he's got past Pyro relatively recently. The second faster on that last lap. Here's Roscoe's close enough. He's definitely close enough to think about going for a move. How hard is Spin going to defend? Doesn't look like he's going to defend at all. Roscoe dives to the inside, looked really late. Yeah, he's gone slightly too deep. Can Spin get the switch back? He's got it in his alongside, but he's not completely through yet. If Roscoe can hold it here, if he's alongside, he can still have the inside for this corner. Looks like Spin's going to hold it around the outside. This is a dangerous corner if you go over the edge of the curb. Neither of them do. Looks like Spin might have just had a little bit of a slide there, but he manages to hold it. And these two battling has allowed this to become a four-way fight now, with Asseldor and Fak coming onto the back. And someone had a penalty, I think. That was Los Blanco. I believe that was a penalty. It's cost him 2 positions there. What has happened there? Was that just the Roscoe absolutely sending it around the outside? Did just miss that one. So he is right behind Spin. Spin's going to cover off the inside. So Roscoe goes to the outside. I think it's just going to be super late on the brakes. Be interested to see if he can get this stopped, because he was coming in really hot there. Goes way too deep. A little bit of a twitch, because you do get dirty tyres going off there. Not actually part of the track, but he's got a good run out of the last corner. But again, being forced to the outside at turn 1. I don't remember seeing anybody actually successfully go around the outside, because you give up the inside for this next corner, which is easier to block off and hold the inside, but it looks like he's just gone a little bit too deep there, trying to hold it around the outside. Ooh, a little bit of contact there. That's gonna, yeah, that's a bit messy from these guys. So Orozco just goes too deep, gives himself a really shallow angle into this next one, and goes over the curb for good measure. And then that was Spin. Let's go forward 10. Yeah, Spin just trying to come back on there. And Asseldor really the big loser in all that. Senor Fat getting up to 8th. Pyro bumping his teammate, so deciding to work together. Does Spin really want to go straight back for a move? He does have dirty tyres after going into the gravel a little bit. Yeah, just kind of unlucky incidents really. I mean, it's kind of on both of them. Orozco's went into Spin, and then Spin trying to come back on. We're getting full analysis of these incidents, and we have missed Mortal getting past into turn 1. So is this Scotty just going to send it on the brakes? Or does Mortal go a little bit deep? Mortal goes a little bit deep and slides, and then Scotty just sends it down the inside nicely into the gap, and he's up to 2nd. Yes he did. Asseldor absolutely got murdered there, and it's cost him a lot because he was in the top 10 and now he's just outside of it. So we've got Mortal down to 3rd. While we're here, we might as well have a look at this carnage again. Where does Asseldor drop to? Down to 12th, potentially even down to 13th. And we definitely had some casualties at the back. We've got Deco, basically 10 seconds down on lap 2. Same for Peachy, and Marty, 20 seconds. So he had a real mess on lap 2. Into the 32s now though, but he needs some help from the cars in front to actually make any progress on that. So the group sort of split into 3 packs and then a couple off the back of the pack completely. Hasseldog going over the curb there. Has a big slide, manages to hold it. Does bring Julia onto the back of him, but not really close enough now to go for the move. And we do have a move up ahead. We've got Spin actually getting past Sinofak after losing that position with that incident. So Spin's looking like he's got good pace here, because Sinofak qualified in 6th and he was ahead, but he's managed to get back past him. Now, can he go after Erotikos? Erotikos was really close behind him and he looked like he may have been being held up. He does have a little bit of gap to Los Blanco. Definitely not uncatchable, especially if there's any penalties or mistakes through here. Got Ross and Primeco looking to get it well. Los Blanco looks to be catching a lot more of it. Goes over the curb there, manages to save it. Didn't look like it cost him too much. Only a couple of tenths down on his best. Well, these three still locked together. How are the tyres looking? Slightly better for the Lambo, which you would expect. MR car's not going to quite wear the fronts as much as the FR cars. Now, we've seen Scotty had to get a little bit, take advantage of a mistake from Morsels to get that position. Can he make Javi do the same? Or can he just go for a move regardless? Looks like he got a good exit out of there. He's got more of a gap to Mortal than he had, so he's not under threat. Decides not to go for it. Goes slightly wider there, maybe going for a better exit out of here into turn 1. Looks like he got it, but can he get far enough alongside to go for a move? It doesn't look like it. It looks like that Lambo's really struggling on the straights. Yeah, I think it depends. It depends on the driver, I think. I can't remember if Javi was particularly good on tyres when he was in Tier 1. I'm not sure. But he's still taking all of that curb on the exit. It doesn't look like it gains him too much to Scotty. He's maybe committed to going around the outside of it now. Does have the fastest lap at the moment as well. Then we've got Ross and Prime Cole kind of close together, but not really having a fight at the moment. Got Blanco with a gap. And then we've got Spin, who is actually closing up back up to Erotikos. And he's bringing Fak with him away from Pyro, who's currently defending from Ellie. Hasseldor's kind of stabilised in 12th. Vico's actually made a lot of progress back up towards the back of the field. Who duly shows must have made a mistake on the last lap, who was dropped down. So these guys, ooh, look at the tyres on Erotikos. Ellie's not looking much better, and to be honest, neither is Pyro. But they're looking quite worn. Yeah, he was. That's not particularly great on tyres either. No Supras in this tier. I can't remember if it's banned or it just didn't get picked. It didn't get picked in Tier 1 either, so maybe it's just not that great after the BOP update. Tyres were horrible, yeah, they do look it. Because I mean, if we look at some of the guys at the front, the tyre wear is massively different. Thanks, Gio. Welcome. So, Hasseldorf might start to struggle to close in on these guys. They're in a kind of similar situation. Pyro in the McLaren unsurprisingly got the best tyres, but even he's not matching some of the guys in front. Really bad now. That's a shame. I like the Supra. But yeah, Erotikos, Spin having significantly better tyres than Erotikos. Going to really start to come into effect basically now. Erotikos is almost at 50%. That's kind of the first big drop off in performance. So it depends if he can capitalise on it, because Fac's only slightly worse off than Spin. So I think this is going to be quite a contest for P7 for the rest of the race. Los Blanco, maybe Los Blanco's tyres are not doing that great, and he's not pulling away from the guys behind. I was checking with the top 3. Doesn't look like Scotty's close enough to go for a move, but these top 3 still stuck together the whole race. Mortal's probably going to be kicking himself for that one mistake that let Scotty through, because otherwise he might still be in second and looking to take the win here. Still got a chance. If any sort of mistakes happen in front, if Scotty tries to go for a move, can't make it. Mortal, like, he got a really good exit out of that last corner. Really closed up into turn 1. Not close enough to go for the move. So Scotty's committed to going around the outside of that. He's done it the last few laps. It doesn't seem to be costing him much. It honestly seems like he even gets better exits than the car in front cutting the curb. But it does really depend how well you take that curb as to what kind of exit you get. So looking in the background, doesn't look like anyone's going for a move into that corner. So we're going to stick with this top 3 now, coming up to the start of the last lap. Can anybody go for a move? Mortal's probably got the strongest car on the straights, but he really needs to get a good exit. Looks like the Lambo can take that corner really well. Does have the most front tyres left, although it's actually pretty much the same as Mortal. Mortal's definitely closing in on the straights. So can Mortal retake this second place? Look like he got a decent exit there. They're all really close together now. But can Scotty gain enough in the slipstream? It looks like Mortal's the one that's gaining. Definitely gaining the most. Going really high on that curb. Trying to set up a run into turn 2. Doesn't look like he's going to make it. Scotty covering off the inside, or maybe looking for the move on Javi. Now what does he do? Does he go around it again? He does. Mortal decides to cut over it, and he looked like he got it pretty well. He's right up behind Scotty now. Scotty's surely got to cover off the inside with Mortal this close. He does a little bit, but he leaves it open. And Scotty's actually... Ooh, was that a bit of a bump pass? It looked like he made contact. Let's go and have a look at that. Yeah, that looks a bit late from Scotty there. Made contact and did get through. Now, it looks like Javi's going to hold on to this second place. Didn't lose enough to let Mortal through, but he's responding immediately. Tried to at least. Scotty went a bit deep into there. Can Javi get the run into this corner? This is somewhere you can dive bomb people and actually make it work. It's just a complete block pass. He doesn't do it though. And Scotty looked like he was getting good runs through this corner the whole race, and he looks like he's got another one. And Mortal's probably going to find it harder to get past the Mercedes than he would the Lambo. Looks like Scotty's going to hold this for now. Mortal going a little bit wider, trying to set up for the exit. Ooh, and Javi goes over the grass a little bit. Doesn't look like he's going to give it Mortal enough to get an overlapping, passing by the line. It doesn't. It's actually top 3. Scotty from Javi from Mortal. Ross solid in 4th, never really challenged from Primeco. Was Blanco in 6th. Rocco's 7th, and a run to the line. Spin does manage to hold 8th over Senor Fak, and Pyro crucially is going to hold on to that 10th ahead of Ellie Asseldor, who's really struggling on the tyres now, just ahead of Deco. Having significantly better tyres at the end there. Yeah, it's really close from the top 3. Got Julie Shaw after that couple of mistakes it looks like on that lap. Peachy also struggling with tyres, so that might be a Corvette problem that we have to keep an eye on. Marty actually had decent pace after his mistake on lap 2. But he's going to be a bit disappointed with 16th. Obviously he did start 16th, but dropped back really early and couldn't really make any progress because he was just too far to cut into it and make a fight with anyone. Collision feature. And there was a really good close battle from the top 3. Scotty, not sure if he got reported for that. He looked a bit late and a bit of a push to pass. So could potentially get a penalty, and that could be costly. It's going to cost him at least 2 positions if he got a penalty. Not sure how close Ross was at the end, but if he was within 5 seconds, he could potentially do the same as well. So, on to the feature race. let's go through and do a quick tyre check. So we've got softs for Pyro starting at the front. Sinofac also doing the same. Spin, the first one to go onto the mediums. Followed by Rotocos, Blanco, Primeco, Ross, Mortal, Javi, Scotty, everybody else. Okay, so everyone down to 12th, Hasseldor, in 12th, whose livery has loaded now, so we can have a quick look at that Mars livery. Really nice and elegant, that. I like that. It's nice and sort of simple. But you don't need to be too complex. If it looks good, it looks good. So, we've got the top two on softs. We've got third down to 12th on the mediums. We have got Deco on the hards, Julie Show on the hards, Peachy on the mediums, and Marty also on the mediums. So, these last two are going to want to get past Deco and Julie Show pretty quickly, starting on the hards. They could go for the one stop with the hards. I'm sure someone in the lower tiers said someone did medium soft. They must be in something like the McLaren, maybe, with insane tyre wear to even think about trying that. Pyro we saw struggle with tyre wear, so he's probably going to go for the two stop starting on softs. Sinofac, not sure. His tyre wear wasn't too bad, but I don't think he'll be going for a one stop. These guys are pretty locked into a two stop. I was Juho in the McLaren. That makes sense. Juho's a bit of a tyre whisperer, like insanely good on tyres. So that does make sense. I'll have to check that out because I don't actually know how well he did in the race, but I imagine that worked out quite nicely for him. So, got top two, pretty sure they're on a two stop, starting on softs. Third down to 12th could be doing pretty much anything. Could be doing two stop, could be going for the one stop. And the guys on the hards at the back were pretty sure are going for the one stop. Looks like Spin was coming under a little bit of pressure from Rotocos. McLaren's not great on the rolling starts. Didn't lose too much, but he did come under a little bit of pressure. And you would expect Pyro and Sinofac to... Whoa, we got someone off in the background. I saw someone on the minimap. And a couple of guys at the back getting a bit messed up by the rolling start positions. So who've we got? Oh, it's Ellie. Just went over that curb there, picks up damage, off into the gravel, back onto the track. Ooh, Peachy just manages to avoid. Although he's lagging a little bit, so I'm not sure how close they actually came to each other. Ooh, Marty having a massive slide there as well. He doesn't want to make a mistake too early. He looked like he had solid pace when he got his laps going. But that's going to hurt fairly. Still got the damage, but down in 16th at the moment. And as we expected, the top two are kind of pulling away. They're looking to go for 6 or 7 laps, is the plan for the soft tyres. Mediums could go anywhere from 10 laps to 14 maybe, depending on how good you are on the tyres. Look like Spin, it's actually Los Blanco who's made a move on Eroticos somewhere on the first lap. So Los Blanco looking to move forward. Qualified P2. Dropped back a bit in the sprint race, but I did give him a better starting position for this race. So he really needs to capitalise on that to make sure he's making use of the pace he's got. Still looking like he's lagging a little bit, but it's not too bad. Look, he got a good run there, or maybe Spin was getting a bad one. He's pretty close to the back of him. Is he going to go for the move into turn 1? He looks close enough to think about it. And... ooh, I think that was just lag. Let's watch it from his POV. Yeah, there probably wasn't contact on his screen, but I imagine that gets reported because he did essentially push Spin wide even if it wasn't on his screen. It's not what we like to see when lag starts playing a part like that. Spin only lost one position. Lucky he didn't go off or get dirty tyres or anything, so he's not lost too much. We've got Primeco looking to go for a move in the background. Gets up the inside of Roscoe's. A little bit of a bump, nothing wrong with that. And gets the position. So I think actually Primecall and Elian's liveries have loaded in this time as well. So they weren't loaded in last time. That's a really nice livery. Stands out really nicely. As does Ross and Mortal's livery. Can't really miss that. Ross up to 7th. So who we lost out? So these, the bottom end of the top 10 are in the same order they were at the end of the sprint race. Deco's actually made progress on his hard tyres, which is a bit surprising. But he's not going to be complaining about that, especially if he's going for the one stop. He just wants to stay as close to these guys as possible. And we've got someone else has made a mistake. So Julie Show on the hards has made a mistake down to last at the moment. Marty's looks like he's made some kind of mistake because Ellie is back up past him. And Ellie's closing in on Peachy. They were faster in this sprint race, and they're on the same tyres. Lexus probably got better fuel. It does have significantly better fuel already. Here's Deco. Yeah, it looks like he's coming under threat from Arseldor. Deco deciding to go around that curb as well. Doesn't really look like he's costing him any time. It really depends how much you commit to going over that curb. It's definitely faster if you commit and you can stay flat over there. It's definitely faster. Are the Jaguar teammates working together? Because they are really close. We've actually got a Roscoe's going back for the move on Primecall. Managing to get around the outside there. Looks like he just went a little bit too wide to hold the speed through the corner. And does lose that position again. And he's coming under threat from Ross now. And these two have a history of not working together, shall I say. So I'm expecting Ross to go for the move as soon as he can. The tyre's looking, Roscoe's tyre's looking significantly worse already. It's only been 3 laps, but you can tell there's a difference. Not close enough to go for the move there. Didn't really set up for a great exit out of turn 1. Can he gain enough in the slipstream? Is he saving fuel? It looks like he's saving some fuel, Ross. So he may decide to work together. We've got Los Blanco taking the fastest lap of the race, which is impressive. He's on medium tyres. The guys on the softs at the front haven't managed to take the fastest lap. They've not really built as much of a gap as they would have liked. They have got a decent gap back to spin, but Los Blanco is keeping there really nicely. Tyres are still looking good. Softs are about to get to 50%. So they're going to start to struggle a little for pace. And Los Blancos already going faster. So in fact, not able to get alongside there. Just sitting behind for now. Does look like he's being held up a little. Would have loved some clear air to use those soft tyres a bit more. This is all part of it. He started second and he's still in second. He only had one position to make up to get some clean air. Pyro's managed to hold him off so far. Saying in fact does not look like he's saving fuel, so he's revving that out. Probably looking to go for the move as soon as he can. And these two look like they're really starting to struggle a little on the tyres. You know the pace is going to drop off now, because Los Blancos really closed in even more. Los Blanco basically matching his fastest lap last time, and yeah, about half a second down for the guys on softs. So in fact, not getting the best run through turn 1. Drops back a little. How are these guys taking the chicane? Pyro's full committing to it. So in fact, didn't look like he was fully committed to it, and it might have cost him. Los Blanco getting a good run. And in the slipstream, is he going to be close enough to go for the move into the hairpin? He's looking at it. Doesn't commit to it though. And these three still got a gap to the cars behind. Spain holding on from Primecall. These guys are basically in the same order. Yeah, Scotty looked like he was thinking about trying to go around the outside. We have got Asseldo who's made his way past Deco, which you would expect. Deco on the hard tyres, so he had a really good start. Ellie has made progress back past Peachy. Marty's actually caught up to Peachy as well. So Marty making a little mistake early on, but he's recovering now. So he's going to have his first little battle with Peachy. Let's just jump back to the front, look quite close together, but he's not close enough to look for a move into the last corner. No, neither of these guys are going to be pitting this lap. Next lap is the first lap they may decide to pit, so it'd be good to keep an eye on. Ospenko looks like he's had a little bit of a scruffy lap, dropped a bit further back. He's still got a nice gap behind to the guys that are on the same strategy. And it looks like Senna Fact was actually going for the move. Got to the inside, but it looks like Pyro was way later on the brakes there. Managed to hold it, kick over the curb nicely. Didn't get the best exit, and it's allowed Senna Fact to come just about alongside. Pyro squeezing him to the inside, but he leaves him room. And surely this is going to be Senna Fact's position. Gets it down to the apex nicely, gets it turned. Is he 100% through? It looks like he's 100% through. Yeah, comes back to the racing line. Is Pyro going to fight back immediately, or are these guys just going to stick together and not waste too much time, because they could potentially be coming in this lap? And honestly, if I was Pyro, I would be thinking about letting Los Blanco go as well, because that lag is a little bit scary. Doesn't look like it. Is he going to push one more lap on that? Senor Fact maybe could push one more lap. Pyro's probably couldn't hit a bit close. So are either of the front two going to pit? Senor Fact looks like he's not. Neither's Pyro, so Pyro's going to push it for 7 laps as well. So it'll be interesting to see if that tyre hangs on. Ospoenko maybe just choosing to sit behind at this point. But he might not even know that they're on soft tyres, because they didn't. He's got the fastest lap at the moment. You would expect the soft tyre runners to have had that at this first stage of the race. Oh, Ospenko getting 1.5 second penalty. That's going to cost him maybe 2.5 seconds when they get to the penalty line. Is he still going to go for the move on Pyro? He looks like he's thinking about it. Backs out of it. Now we've actually had some battling in the background. We've got Prime Call up to 4, so he's made his way past both Spin. Actually no, he's made his way past Rockos before, so he's just made his way past Spin, and it's cost Spin a couple of positions. He's now coming under pressure from Ross. Ross sending it down the inside. Can he hold it around the outside of this corner? As long as he doesn't go over the curb, should be okay. Yeah, he does make it. And this is going to be really unravelling Spin's race. Look like Mortal was thinking about the move. Does manage to get to the inside really nicely, but he's on the inside of his teammate. Two Jaguar teammates going side by side. Mortal pulls in. Probably just going to bump his teammate now to make sure they don't come under threat from Spin. But is Spin going to send it anyway? Yes, he is. Just about misses Ross. But fine, bit of a standard block pass. And the soft tyre runners are in, which you'd expect. Got Mortal, he's on the outside, but he's got the slipstream. And he decides to bump Spin, which is an interesting choice. I would have thought he'd have gone for the move there. But decides to stay there in position. And these top three haven't changed position since the start of the race, no matter how much they've been side by side. But Ross is starting to pull away from Spin now. And Mortal, no, it looked like he got a good enough exit out of there. Scotty's actually the one that's really close to the back of Javi. What are the tyres looking like? Basically the same. Scotty's got a little bit worse rear tyres, which you would expect. Pulls out of the move. Mortal like he was thinking about it, but also backed out of it. Spin, looks like he's sliding a little bit on the exits, especially compared to the Jag. Jag's really putting down the power well. And he goes a little bit wide there. Is it going to cost him? Doesn't quite cost him the position. But he's still coming under massive pressure. Yeah, it looks like he's struggling to get the car turned now as well. And that's allowed Mortal to the inside, but he's going to be on the outside for the last corner. He's fully alongside. You can make it all the way around the outside, but it depends how committed the guy on the inside is. Looks like he was went a little bit too deep. Now Mo's got the inside for the first corner, but he didn't get the best exit. But spin goes onto the grass a little. That's going to cost him down this straight. Here's Mo alongside. He's not quite all the way alongside, but he should be able to hold this into turn one. Should be able to get the move done. Now it looks like Scott's going for the move on the back in the background. Looks like he's potentially going to get a double move on spin as well. He's up the inside. Yeah, a little bit of hip and shoulder there, but that's always going to happen. And he does manage to hold the position on Javi for now. Javi definitely looked like he got the better run. Is Scotty going to fully cover the inside? Not fully. Javi choosing to go to the outside though. And it looks like Scotty's going to hold that position for now, but he does looks a little bit wide on the exit. Going to make Javi think about the move, decides not to. And there's somebody spin down out the back. That was Marty. So another mistake for Marty. Not really getting on with this Lambo at the moment. Drops a decent amount of time behind Peachy now. Oh, we've got somebody else spinning. Oh, we've got spin. Perfect. Matches his name. Does he go over the curb? Yeah, just goes over the curb. Spits him out. Does he collect anybody? He doesn't. How far is he going to drop? Probably down to last. With less space. Whoa, yeah. What are you doing? Stay still, spin. Well, luckily there is space for him to get going. Luckily everyone managed to avoid him. He's going to give up the position to Marty there. He wasn't far away from collecting his teammate. So let's have a check in. So Los Blanco, after 9 laps? 9 laps on the mediums. That's an interesting strategy decision. Where is he going to come out? Got a little bit of free air to Ellie. Not much though. So let's go and find everyone. So Pyro out on the mediums. Xenofac out on the softs as well. So Xenofac definitely going soft, medium, maybe soft, hard. But I suspect he'll go on to the mediums to the end. Pyro maybe going mediums in the middle stints, going softs at the end. Then we've got Asseldor, who's really struggling on the tyres. He may come in this lap. He may push it one more if he's feeling adventurous. Everyone at the front can go basically as far as they want to for now. We've got Prime Call into the lead after a few people have made their pit stops. Roscoe's in second, Ross currently in third, so having a podium. Mortal making a mistake there. Doesn't spin though, but is it going to cost him the position to Scotty? Not quite. He's going to have dirty tyres up here. Does manage to keep it on the track though, so shouldn't have a problem holding this position down to turn 1 against the Lambo, I don't think. We've seen that Jag is fast on the straights. It was really closing in on Scotty in the sprint races. That's someone coming in, that's Asseldor coming in, which we expected. So I think Asseldor's probably going to go for a medium, then probably a soft at the end. Not sure if he wants to risk the hard tyres. Ellie coming in as well, so going aggressive on the strategy. Trying to get an undercut on the cars from in front. That's going to do Los Blanco the world of good. I think that was 1, maybe 2 of the drivers that were close in front of him out of the way now. But he is coming up to Deco on the hard tyres. So he's going to want to get past as quick as he can. The hard tyres down to around 50%. So I'm not sure what strategy Deco's going to be on here. He could potentially be on a different version of the 2-stop. Could also still be going for the 1-stop. There's plenty of life in the tyres yet. And we've got Pyro just in front, who's probably going to be driving away from Deco anyway because he's on fresh mediums. Also keeping an eye on the front because that is one jam-packed group up here. Doesn't look like anybody's going for a move though. Everyone, top 6, are all on the same strategy. Xenofac is the one that's coming at them with the new fastest lap of the race and trying to make progress. And even though his tyres are at 50, getting close to 50%, they're still going to be better than the mediums that are also below 50% now. So he's still a little bit away from getting held up, and these guys aren't far away from coming in for their pit stop, I don't think. The sort of the strategy, if you're going medium, soft, soft, which I think most of these guys are, because they've stayed out till at least lap 12, is 12 on the medium, then 2 sets of 7 lap soft stints. So I expect a lot of these guys to come in the next lap. Scotty's got a lot less fuel. Actually, it's Mortal that's got a lot of fuel compared to the cars around, even compared to his teammate in the same car. Roscoe's in Lexus, you would expect. And it looks like Mortal's the one that's actually closing up to the cars ahead. It looks like maybe Javi just made a mistake in that hairpin. Got center in fact right onto the back of him. Still plenty of tyres, so he's not going to really run out of grip, but we've had a mistake there from Ross. Okay, lost the position. Did he lose his position? Was he going for the move, or was it just a mistake? Just goes a little bit too wide. Oh, and then brakes too late into there, and just can't carry the speed through. Going to allow Scotty around the outside, but Ross can still hold this on the inside. It's hard to go all the way around the outside there. Excuse me. But it looks like he's managed it actually. Oh no, not quite. Ross managed to close the door on the exit. Are we thinking about a move? Oh, instead of fact, I'm going to take avoiding action there. We've been really late on the brakes. So who have we got coming in? Somebody's carrying on. That might be Prime Call. It's actually not the only one. So who have we got coming in? We've got Roscoe's, Ross and Scotty all coming in. Roscoe's got way more fuel than the cars behind, which you would expect with the Lexus. And we've got Javi losing this position to Senor Fac. This is exactly what Senor Fac needs to do. Don't want to get held up with the medium runners when he's on his second soft stint. So we've got Prime Call going for one more, we've got Mortal going for one more, and we've got Javi going for one more. Pyro is back into kind of the net race lead, I guess. Actually no, Sinofak is into the net race lead. Pyro's net P2 of the people that have done pit stops at the moment. Los Blanco went to another set of mediums, so he's definitely got one more stop to make. Deco's still going on the hards. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a one stop for Deco, so it'll be interesting to see how that plans out. You're sort of never really in the fight until the end of the race, when you're actually in the fight for where you should be. So I'm not sure any of these guys actually did any refueling in this, so they've all come out basically together. And they'll be going 7 soft to the end. And they can probably get a decent undercut on the guys ahead. Because it'll be interesting to see, these guys have got to be coming in. They've got to be coming in this lap or the next lap, I think. I mean, these guys could still be going for a one stop as well. Primeco's coming in. Mortal's coming in. Senofak is carrying on. And Javi's coming in. Look close to the pit line there. You can pick up a 3-second penalty if you just cut that pit line. It's quite tight on the exit of the last corner, and if you're not careful, you're going to end up losing a lot of time. So we've got Sinofak. He is in a good position at the moment, but he does have to go on to mediums at the end. But he's got a nice gap over the cars behind him. So Mortal has come out on softs, Javi come out on softs, as well as Prime Call. But Mortal has jumped Prime Call in the pits, so they've put some fuel in, which could be a good decision. They'll have a short pit stop at the next one. Scotty getting a really nice exit out of the chicane. Ross covering off the inside. Is Scotty going to try around the outside or set up for the switchback? Looks like he's trying to go all the way around the outside. Looks like he might get it. Yeah, looks like he gets a nice exit there. A little bit of contact, nothing in that. And Scotty does get the move done on Ross. Is Ross going to fight back immediately? He tries. He tried, but Scotty manages to hold it. Can Scotty now set off after Roscoe's? You could say Scotty might have been the fastest in the sprint race. Dropped to third off the start, managed to get back to second, was in the lead group, qualified on pole. I think he had the fastest lap in the end in the sprint as well. So can he close into Orozco's? You would expect him to. I've obviously around the outside was the best move. Yeah, okay, so we've got Senofak in. We've got Pyro, we know is going to be staying out, he's on his mediums. So this is all going to shuffle out really late at the end of the race. So we've got Pyro, we know we've got one more stop. Los Blanco, we know we've got one more stop, and we know most of these cars have got one more stop to make as well. So Senofak is the first driver who is... Oh, I thought he was on softs again then. But you know, he is out on mediums, so yeah, going to the end. So, Senofak is our net race leader. And he's probably going to be losing time for the first couple of laps while the guys in front are on fresh softs. Got Asildor on the mediums as well, so I'll probably go medium, medium soft. But yeah, this is a good couple of laps from Senofak, and he should come out with a decent lead to the cars behind. We were saying Scotty looks like would he catch Orozco's? He definitely has caught Orozco's, but can he go for the move? He sat behind the guys in the sprint for a long time without going for the move. Now, was that choice, or was that because he was struggling to get the move done with the Lambo? He definitely looks stronger through that particular section. And is he going to send it here? No, decides not to. Looked like he could have. What happened to Pyro? I think Pyro must have had a penalty there. Let's go back. Yeah, I think Pyro had a penalty there. So Pyro has lost the current lead at the moment to Los Blanco. Gives Los Blanco some nice free air to drive into. Scotty's actually got the fastest lap on the last lap, which you would expect. Given how fast he caught Orozco's, and he looks like he's going to be able to go for the move into turn 1. Does get it done all the way through. Can Orozco switch back and go for the move into turn 2? He's thinking about it. So leaves each other space. And Scotty kind of clattering into that curb. And he's cost him a lot. Oh, and he goes over that curb as well. Can he cover off the inside? He can. That is massive for him, because now he can just completely cover off the inside, but he doesn't. So it makes a late defensive move towards the inside. Left the car's width though. We've got the two Jaguar teammates going for a move. Mortal going around the outside of Ross. And actually Mortal taking the fastest lap on that lap as well. So Mortal's got pace. He's got one lap fresher tyres than Scotty in front. Or was it 2 laps? I think it's 1 lap. And Orozco's looks like he's got slightly worse tyre wear, but he's got a lot more fuel. So even if he loses his position, he could gain him back in the pit lane anyway. And these guys are really starting to close up to Pyro. Starting to lose a bit of pace on his mediums. But Pyro's going to be going on to softs, I'm pretty sure, for the end as well. So this is for position. Because he will come out on the same set of tyres at the end as the cars are behind him. Look like Scotty got that car turned really nicely in the last corner. But crucially, he's not going to have the slipstream, and Orozco's is behind Pyro. Could potentially even lose this place to Mortal going around the outside. Not quite. Can Mortal cut back? It looked like he timed that really well there. Can Mortal even go for the move on Orozco's? Not quite. Orozco's covering it off. And it's actually going to leave Scotty to go around the outside again. Actually, the opposite position to where he was last lap. But not coming into that curb. They're about to go 3 wide, down to the hairpin, not quite. Scotty managing to cover off the inside. Does he fully cover it off this time? Personally, I would. Not really. Still left a space on the inside, more choosing to go to the outside. And that's Orozco's losing a couple of positions there down to P5. And he's got his best mate, Ross, behind him, who's got a half-second penalty for Ross. Must be through the chicane, I'm pretty sure. That might cost him 2 positions, that might cost Ross a couple of positions. Ross has got even worse fuel than Scotty does. Look like Pyro may be making a mistake there, and Scotty along the outside is going to give him the inside for the last corner. Mortal following him through at the moment. Looks like Scotty's got the move. Cam Mortal following through. Oh, Pyro's going wide. That's going to cost Pyro a lot there. Down to 5th. He's going to go over the curb on the exit. Yes. Doesn't spin though, but that's cost him a lot of positions. That cost him like 5 positions there. And it's going to cost him the position to Ross as well. Ross got the inside. Does manage to get a move, but Pyro getting a really nice switch back there. He's got the inside for turn 2. Can he hold it? It's mediums versus softs, both worn tyres. Pyro's just managed to get the position back there. So really good from Pyro defending that. And Javi didn't look like he got the best run through the chicane. Could Pyro potentially go for a move into the hairpin? Doesn't look like he's getting the best run down the straight. Yeah, doesn't really go for the move there. Ross really late on the brakes, closing up that gap. But not really able to make anything. Whoa, Scotty! Looked like I think he may have just lost it on the exit on the curb. Did he have any help? Nope, just loses it. Ooh, Morsel did well to hang on to that. I honestly did Scotty a favour, saving him from spinning completely around. That's cost him a lot of positions. And honestly, these guys battling, that is great news for Senarfak. He's not even that far behind, and he's made his final pit stop. Senarfak looking really good for this race win, potentially. Ross still having a go at Pyro. Going around the outside there, he dips over the edge of the track. Could really drag you wide if you do that. Are they coming in this lap? No, they think they've got at least one more lap on these soft tyres to try. Jive's looking like he's the strong car in the straights compared to the McLaren. Gonna have Ross the inside. Looks like he's got completely through already. And Scotty beginning a bit opportunistic and shoving it down the inside as well, but manages to hold it. Yep, pulls back in to grab the slipstream of Ross, I think. These should be pretty evenly matched on the straights. Actually, on Marty, who's got the fastest lap there, I've just noticed. Pyro looking to go for the move. He was thinking about it. Had to back out of it in the end. It is basically very old mediums versus very old softs now. And we've got both the AMGs coming up to the back of a Rotko's. Rotko's has got the worst tyres by far, but he did come in a lap earlier. Also came in a lap earlier than Mortal, and he's starting to pull away now. So Mortal really needs to focus, get some clean laps in, because he's going to be trying to close down Senarfak after he comes out of the pits, because Senarfak's definitely coming out in the lead. It's just a question of how big that lead is going to be. So we've got Prime Call, got more fuel than his teammate. They've both got less fuel than Rotko's, so Rotko's is almost definitely coming in this lap. Almost definitely. And look like Prime Call got a good run, but he's sending him to the outside. Now he's probably not going to know that Rotko's is coming in, and if Rotko's gets stuck on the outside, it could end up costing him, but he's lost both those positions anyway, or maybe chose to, but I suspect that was a mistake that turned into that, being forced. He's coming in with Ross, but look at the difference in fuel. Rotko's going to be coming out significantly ahead of these guys. Pyro got a bit more than the cars in front. We'll be going on to softs for this last stint as well. So let's have a look. These two Mercedes are quite close. Are they going to battle, or are they just going to work together? I suspect they'll be coming in at the end of this lap and doing the final 6 laps on softs. They might have to put a little bit less fuel in the cars that have just come in, potentially. I think Morsel definitely put some fuel in at the last pit stop. And that's really going to pay dividends here, because not only is he going to have a lead already on these cars, it's going to protect him from the potential undercut of the cars coming from further back. So we've got Los Blanco. When did he come in? That's 17? So that's 8 laps? That's 9 laps. 9 laps on softs. So he must be confident in his tyre wear to try 9 laps on the softs. But even he's got a decent gap to make up to Senarfak. And Senarfak tyres on mediums should last longer. And in a couple of laps, they should be the stronger tyre. Los Blanco looking to potentially take the fastest lap. He's the 10th purple at the moment. Thought some tight squeal, thought he'd spun then. Got Asseldor still on the mediums. Rotkar's out on the fresh softs. So, got the front guys got to be coming in this lap. Yeah, Marcel's got the most fuel. Senior Fact easily going to take the lead. That gap to the lead for Rotkar's probably got to be like at least 10 seconds. I think that gap. That's going to be a job to get that gap made up. Can Moss get out in front of Rotkar's? That's Los Blanco going through. Looks like he is. That decision to put fuel in at the first stop going to pay off massively because he's come out in clean air. Los Blanco, we're pretty sure he's going to be suffering at the end of the race still. 9 laps on the soft tyres. Even if he can make it, they're not going to be in good condition. Mortal should not have any issues going 6 laps on the softs. Got Deco also going for the 1 stop. Currently up in 5th, but he has got a lot of cars right behind him on fresh soft tyres. Ross has actually come out quite a ways behind Pyro and Scotty. Scotty not managing to get the undercut done on the guys on the AMGs who came in a lap later. But it does look like he's going to try and go for this move around the outside. We've seen him do it to Ross and make it work. Should be able to have the inside here. He should have been left room there, so that's fine. Is he going to go? Oof, almost. Almost. He's still alongside. Gets to the inside. As long as he can get this turned. He's actually coming under pressure from Pyro now. Ooh, Pyro just clipping that curve a bit too much, unsettled the car and forced him wide. But that's cost him time to the cars in front, where Javi has got past Eco. He's going to be looking to try and charge down the Roscos, but even that's quite a big gap to be making up. We're both on soft tyres. So let's have a quick look down. So we've got Pyro still right on the back of Prime Call. So this strategy for Pyro hasn't really worked out as well as it did for Sinofak, who's currently in the lead at the moment. We saw him have a penalty or two, and got involved in the battling when he was on medium tyres. So Sinofak going onto the softs in the second stint, probably a really good decision. Kept him in some clean air, just put his laps in. Going for mediums in the second stint, kind of dropped Pyro into the battling pack. And you can see how much it's cost him, because Sinofak is all the way up there in the lead at the moment. Los Blancos tyres really starting to look worn. Moss is going to be catching him hand over fist, as well as Orozco's. So I think this is going to be our fight for second place. I'm not sure they're going to get to Sinofak. So it's a really nice strategy. Going softs early. Managed to jump. I don't think he jumped Pyro in the pits. He probably jumped in when he first came out, when he was on softs and Pyro was on mediums. But this, I think, is going to be our fight for the podium. Mortal, I would expect to get past Los Blancos pretty quickly. There's a big difference in the tyres. I'm not even sure that Los Blancos tyres are going to make it, so he may have to pit, which is going to really cost him. Doesn't look like he'll have to put any fuel in, but he might need to pit. 4 laps on those tyres. That's pushing it. That's really going to be pushing it. Morse taking the fastest lap of the race with a 31.6. 1.5 seconds faster than Los Blanco in front. The lag from Los Blanco is going to make this a little bit tougher. Ooh, catches that curb, gets a slide. That might cost him a chance to make the move into the hairpin. Norriscos has just dropped back a little bit because his tyres are starting to suffer now as well. They've reached the 50% mark already. More going really deep on the brakes there, had to stay wide, otherwise he'd have collected Los Blanco. And he's going to want to get this move done quickly. It's not like the tyres are going to go swing massively, but his tyres will drop away from him and it'll make the move harder to pull off. Can he maybe cut back to the inside here? We've seen him do this really nicely and get to the inside. Looks like he's done it here. Yeah, really nice move there from Moore. We've seen him try that and pull it off a bit earlier in the race. And he shouldn't have any problem keeping ahead of Los Blanco now. Yeah, manages to hold into the last corner. Gets it turned, yeah, looks like Los Blancos Los Blancos gonna have a couple laps on dead tyres, or he's got to pit. That's his only option. Surely staying out is going to be slower. Surely. Roscoe's, he obviously won't know that Los Blancos tyres are going to be completely dead. He can probably tell by the way Los Blancos driving that he's really struggling to get the car turned. But he probably doesn't know how dead they are, because you'd expect cars now to be going to the end of the race, which I'm not sure Los Blancos can. At least not in a competitive pace, at least, because that tyre is going to be dead at the end of this lap, I reckon. So I've got Roscoe sending it down the inside. Can Los Blancos get a switchback? Not really. And he's not safe from any one of the cars behind. We've got so much more tyres. Then we've got this part. We've got Pyro having a go at Deco. So Deco's making the one-stop work as well. He's up from 12th, 13th, I think. Bottom end of the top 10, so he's made up a couple of positions. Pyro managing to go around the outside and hold that really nicely. And Ross is going to be the next one to come up to him. Ooh, actually, Deco's looks like he's having a go back at Pyro there. Doesn't manage to get it though. Ooh, is there any contact there? I'm not sure. The spin was on Deco. The spin was definitely on Deco going over the curb. Yeah, it looked like a little bit of contact there. And then, yeah, just Deco's going wide over the curb. Just kind of essentially spins on his own, but did get bumped wide. Well, he didn't play. That's going to cost him a position. Ellie, after that spin at turn 1, up into the top 10. And where's Marty? Marty had the fastest lap at one point, but I think he's just been struggling for consistency and to keep the Lambo on the road. He's had good pace when he's managed to keep it going. Actually, spin behind him. I think, yeah, if he's on the hards, I'm pretty sure he went for the one stop. So he has not worked out for spin. Did make a mistake on the last lap, lost about 5 seconds. But we've got Senor Fak in the lead from Mortal pretty comfortably. Mortal's not going to be able to close that gap without any help. Got Roscoe's on for a podium. And Los Blancos tyres finally giving up. He's probably not worth pitting now. But he's certainly going to lose the position to Javi. He's probably going to lose it to Prime Call as well. Pyro might be just far enough back to not be able to gain out of it. But that's the last little sliver of tyre life gone for Los Blancos. Not going to be affecting him all that much in this corner, but turn 1 in particular is going to really suffer trying to get the car turned. So that's down at least, surely got to be down 1 position at least for Los Blancos. The top guy's not really close enough to do anything in terms of making a move. Everybody looks like they've kind of spaced out a little bit now. And Primeco's almost already caught up to Los Blancos. Just in that one left-hand corner, tyres gave up. And it's going to be even worse through here. Primeco's surely just going to be able to drive around Los Blancos, yeah. Los Blancos not able to put any fight, not even really wanting to, I imagine. Is he going to lose the position to Pyro, Ross and Scotty? Scotty's probably going to be a little bit disappointed with this. He definitely had the pace. A couple of mistakes really cost him in this one. When he was at the front of that little tight pack, that one sort of half spin out cost him like 4 positions. Yeah, I mean, it must have been. Los Blancos must have made the strategy decision thinking he could make it. Because driving on dead tyres is so slow. It's just never worth it. And I believe he's not safe from Pyro. Pyro is closing in rapidly. I mean, his tyres are worn, but they're not dead. And that is crucial. But everybody's kind of spaced out. Actually got Scotty actually having a look at Ross. Trying to go around the outside. Probably not going to get the move done. So let's go back to the leader, who's going to actually have a mega race. Made the two-stop work really well from the front. Center of Fact takes the win. Mortal gets his second place. Orozco's on the podium. Really good result there for the top three. Javi be happy up from 9th to 4th in the end. Prime Caller in 5th. Good points for the AMG team. Los Blanco does manage to hold 6th ahead of Pyro. Just. Pyro's tyres. And we actually did get Scotty past Ross. So, Ross's tyres, Ross's front tyres probably going to give up in this corner. Scotty goes to the outside. Ross deep on the brakes. Yeah. Tyre did not have enough grip to get him around the corner, and that's going to get Scotty up to 8th. So it's a couple more points for Scotty there. Ross going to be a little bit disappointed with 9th. Ellie probably pretty happy with 10th after spinning on the first lap. Deco didn't really, well, the one stop would have worked because he did lose a few positions at the end with that spin. Asseldor on really dead tyres again, so that Corvette's really roasting its front tyres. Peachy, a little bit better than Asseldor, but still quite worn. Julie Shaw we did see have a mistake early on, dropped down to the back and up to 14th now. We've got Marty and Spin battling to the line because Marty's tyres have gone. His Spin going to get, looks like Spin's just going to get it. Spin does just manage to get it with the hard tyres. One stop not really working for Spin. I think we lost him somewhere in the middle of the race there. But yeah, it was a really good race there, especially from Senor Fak. Just stayed in clean air, did what he needed to do. Marcel's going to be really happy, up from 7th, 8th, up from 8th to 2nd. So that's a really good result. I believe he's leading the championship at the moment for Jaguar. Let's go and find the standings. Tier 2, blue. There we go. So we've got Mortal ahead of Elian by 3 points. Senor Fak after that feature race win. Only 9th in the sprint, but that feature race has really kept him up there. He's only 6 points off the lead. Scotty in 4th. So getting the fastest lap and pole position as well to stay only 6 points off. Orozco's with his podium in 5th at the moment. Only 9 points off the lead. And we've actually got AMG in the lead of the constructors at the moment. So I think that's going to be a good, close fight this season. So yeah, so that's your top 5 in the standings. Obviously, Stewart's result pending. I don't know who actually got reported, but I know there are some. But yeah, that is how it looks going into the next round. The next round is at the Nürburgring, the endurance layout. So that is going to be potentially treacherous, potential for rain. And that is definitely going to be interesting. So I will hopefully see you all next week, probably the same time, same day, for comms for Tier 2 again. Yeah, have a good one, everyone. Hopefully see you next week.